Good day, everyone. So my name is Derry Andayap. Today, we will discuss about B.F Skinner's theory entitled operant conditioning. Let's get started! So first is behaviorism. Behaviorism is a theory of learning based upon the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning. Conditioning occurs through interaction with the environment. It is also known as behavioral psychology. There are three types of behaviorism. First is methodological. It refers to a behavior that's studied without connection to a mental state. Second is psychological. It is a human and animal behavior is explained based on external stimuli. And the third one is analytical or logical. Means that a certain behavior will arise from particular mental states and beliefs. Let's move on to learning. So learning is acquiring new or modifying and reinforcing existing knowledge, behavior, skills, values, or preferences and may involve synthesizing different types of information. There are three major types of behavioral learning. First is classical conditioning, second is operant conditioning, and the third one is observational learning. Learning by association or classical conditioning. It is a learning process that occurs when the two stimuli are repeatedly paired. A response which is at first elicited by the second stimulus is eventually elicited by the first stimulus alone. Learning by consequences or operant conditioning. It is a method of learning that occurs through rewards and punishments for behavior. Through operant condition, an individual makes an association between a particular behavior and the consequences. Learning through observation or modeling consists of observing and modeling another individual's behavior, attitudes, or emotional expressions. There are three behaviorism theory. Under the primary focus is observable behavior, stimulus response connections. Under the assumption, learning is a result of environmental forces, and also under the major theories is Pavlov, Watson, Thorndike, and Skinner. This is Boris Frederick, also known as B.F Skinner. He is an American psychologist, behaviorist, inventor, author, and social philosopher. He also the Edgar Pierce Professor of Psychology at Harvard University from 1958 to 1974. These are the inventions of B.F Skinner. First is air crib, operant chamber, and Project Pigeon, and also cumulative recorder. This is Edward Thorndike. He proposed the law of effect principles. The law of effect principle. Number 1, if particular behavior is powered by desirable consequences or reward, it is more likely to happen again. Behavior has a better way to reinforce. Number 2, if particular behavior is followed by an undesirable consequences or punishment, that behavior is likely to happen again in the future. On this chapter, you can see the diagram of operant conditioning. There is a positive reinforcement behavior and negative punishment behavior. Components of operant conditioning. Number 1, reinforcement. It is something that happens after a behavior or event that strengthens or increases behavior likely to occur again. Positive reinforcement. It is a reward or praise that are favorable events or outcomes that are presented after the behavior. A behavior is strengthened by the addition of something. It is giving a child a compliment for a job well done. Negative reinforcement. Removal. In this situation, a response is strengthened by the removal of something considered unpleasant. By taking aspirin, headache takes away the pain.
Good day. My name is Cosme Sardido and this is the continuation of B.F Skinner's theory. Reinforcement. Reinforcement psychology is the study of effect reinforcement techniques on behaviors. There are two types of reinforcement. Positive reinforcement works by presenting a motivating or reinforcing stimulus the person after desired behavior is exhibited, making behaviors more likely to happen in the future. And negative reinforcement is a method that can be used to help teach specific behaviors. Punishment is any change in human or animal surroundings which occurring after a given behaviors or response reduce the likelihood of the behavior occurring again in the future. Positive punishment involves adding an adversive consequence after undesired behavior is emitted to decrease future response. Negative punishment includes taking away a certain reinforcing item after undesired behavior happens in order to decrease future responses. And as you can see the table, there are reinforcement schedule. Primary reinforcers are reinforcers that have initiate reinforcing qualities. This kind of reinforcers are not learned. Water, food, sleep, shelter, sex, and touch. Among others, there are primary reinforcer. Secondary reinforcer has no inherent value and only has reinforcing qualities when linked with a primary reinforcer. Another example, money is only worth something when you can use it buy or other things, either things that satisfy basic needs, food, water, shelter, all primary reinforcers or other secondary reinforcer. If you were on a remote island in the middle of Pacific Ocean and you had stock of money, the money would not be useful if you could not spend it. Those are the basic principle operant condition, primary and secondary reinforcer. And there are four important in operant condition. Principle immediacy, principle satiation, principle contingency, and principle of size. Operant conditioning shaping is a conditioning paradigm used primarily is in the experimental analysis of behavior. The method used differential reinforcement of successive approximation. Major principle. The principle of operant condition describe the relationship between behavior and environmental event, antecedents and consequence that influence behavior. In developing behavioral programs, it is important to understand the types of antecedent, event, and consequence that influence behavior. In many applications of the principles of operant condition, emphasis is placed on the consequence which follow behavior. For a consequence to alter behavior is most dependent or contingent upon occurrence of the behavior. Behavior change occurs when certain consequences are contingent upon performance.